So here's how it works. You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed, and you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you listen to Thrive Loud, and Lou shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Longtime listener and a huge fan.
Lou, I am tremendous.
And the more I'm plugged in technology and people, the more I can serve people with technology.
What you're standing for with connection, I think it's the key to everything.
You're just an amazing breath of fresh air for sure. You're a diamond in the rough, my man.
Because for me, if I'm not living high energy, I'm surviving and I want to be thriving.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
I love it.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have an experienced chief executive officer with a demonstrated history of working in marketing technology, serial entrepreneur and skilled leader with a heart for growing people and businesses. He is the founder of Yaystack, a social network for authentic referrals and recommendations only. Thrive Loud listeners, we're going to have such a fun time because now I get to ask the questions and get the referrals and recommendations, because when you connect with this individual, you will thrive loud. Trey Roth is here. Hey, Trey, what's up, my friend?
I'm great, Lou. How are you doing? I'm pumped, man. This is going to be fun.
I love dealing with marketing tech entrepreneurs. I love guys that have that entrepreneurial spirit. And even more importantly, I'm a big fan of what you've got going on. I want to do a little rewind. I don't want to go all the way to the womb. I want to go just to the recent bit.
We can go back. It was crowded. I have a twin, so.
You do have a twin. That's pretty funny. Getting up to this thing that you're currently doing now, which we're going to talk about in depth. Can you kind of give the road up to this point, how you took your career into this new initiative?
Absolutely. I appreciate you asking. I'm thinking about how far back do I go? So I started playing piano. I played my grandmother's upright, brown, old, crappy piano at 6 years old. And I remember sitting down to the piano for the first time as a 6-year-old, and I started plunking out some notes, and I added some notes. And I was like, well, these notes don't sound good together, but these notes do sound good together. And so I started to play basically like just harmonies, like up and down as a kid for the first time sitting down at the piano. And I remember, Lou, I'll never forget it. The door next to the piano was the door to my parents' bedroom. And as I'm playing this like melody with a little harmony over and over for the first time, I'm like, hey, this actually sounds pretty good. My mother flings open the door with a violence, and she's standing there. She had run out of the shower. She's got a body towel wrapped around her. She's got, another towel wrapped around like an ice cream cone, on her head. and she's looking at me, and Lou, it was all in her eyes. She says, is that you? And in that moment, Lou, it just made me feel like, oh, well, yes, it is. I thought, okay, well, there's something here. And that really sparked this joy for music. So I taught myself how to play piano, just kept sitting there and just figured things out. And then I started playing guitar and bass when I was 12. I grew up multi-track recording as a hobby, but never considered a career choice. Well, I'm studying abroad in Barcelona, Spain. I'm offered a job at the U.S. Embassy there, just pushing paper like at a desk. But about the same time, my band was offered a record deal if I moved home. And so I did what any 19-year-old would do. And I moved home and I signed that record deal. Well, then we're working with a music producer. And I ask him, I say, hey, Rob, I know how much the label's paying you. How does one become a music producer? And he says, tell people you're a music producer. I was like, all right, I can do that. So that led to a 7-year career producing music. And I thought it was forever, Lou. I mean, every Monday morning was like Christmas morning. I loved it. It was so wonderful. However, this strange, unforeseen thing happened. I was off of social media. I had never made a business card. I didn't even have a website for my business, yet my business was growing year after year for 7 years, all based on word of mouth referrals, just my friends sharing with their friends, et cetera. And I thought, wow, there's magic to this referral thing. Just authentic referrals. And I thought, why hasn't somebody really bottled this magic well? Like, yes, people are sharing on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok now and Twitter and all these different platforms, things they like and recommendations and that kind of stuff. But is that why you go to Instagram or TikTok or what? It's like, I don't know about you, but I go there to be entertained. Like, TikTok is fantastic for entertainment. Goodness gracious. If that's what you want, go to TikTok. Don't come here, even though it is quite entertaining. However, I just realized, Lou, I had this Oprah Winfrey aha moment. It was right after I'd flown home from the Grammys. I'm a voting member of the Recording Academy there. And actually, while I was there at the Staples Center taking my seat at the Grammys, I bumped into this old lady. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. And she turns around and it's Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were, never mind. He's like, oh, it's good, man. But I felt like some of the positive vibes, Lou, like came off. So I give all the credit to Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Yaystack. Anyway, so I fly home, sitting on my couch, kids are asleep upstairs. I sit up and I just realized all in a single moment, oh, shoot. One day, somebody is going to build the referral network. And I just knew. I was like, man, like, just like people have pin boards and they're pinning interests, there's a major difference between somebody's interests that they're pinning. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that. No knock on Pinterest. There's just a huge difference between Lou's interests and Lou's recommendations and positive experience shares. No reallys. Like, this is my favorite. This is something I advocate. This is something I recommend. So I just realized one day somebody's going to do that, and they're going to accelerate this wonderful, magical word of mouth referral that made my entrepreneurial dreams come true. And I thought, well, how many more dreams can we make come true? And how much positive impact can we make on our economy? Because as you know, as an entrepreneur, word of mouth referrals make the economic world go round. They're wonderful, right? So how do we accelerate that? How do we make it to where we reach your friends faster and basically have this wonderful place where you can explore and discover the best finds from your best friends? That's what we're all about. So what we're talking about, Lou, is Yaystack, which is the authentic referral network.
Okay. And by the way, thank you for that background story. And I'm glad we started at 6 years old, not from the womb. We went pretty far back, though. I like it.
I could have.
What I will say, and so this is interesting, and now we'll go there. The ability to refer someone to business. I want to drill down on this because I think it's really important, and not just for business. Hold on. I think it's important. We'll talk about what Yaystack does in a minute, but I want to talk about referrals into its own, because you are 100% right. The majority of the work that I get in consulting and speaking, even guests that we get to the podcast, or people that are coming to promote their topic or their business, their book, whatever it might be, and they want to come on Thrive Loud, there is a component to a referral. When someone says, you should go work with Lou, you should go work with Trey, you should engage in their service, their offering. I want to drill into this because you would know this best. What are the common things about referrals, references, word of mouth things? What are the things that light people up and say, yes, I'm going to take that person's advice or this other individual's advice? Have you thought about what it is about a referral that is where the magic happens?
Well, community is the first answer. We're wired for community, and trust. It really is. I mean, Yaystack is all about trust. Like Lou saying, hey, I like this, whatever it is, because there's rapport, because there's relationship, because there's connection and mutual trust and community. I actually am impacted by Lou's recommendation of whatever it is. 1,000 times more than a paid ad for the same product or service. So it's really about relationship. It's really about community. It's really about trust. Well, I trust Lou's recommendation. So we've just bottled that and made it to where, one, it's all positive. It's all advocacy. This is, as simple as if you think back to when you saw Disney's Bambi and the bunny Thumper, the mom is telling Thumper, hey, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. We actually subscribe to that. We are an advocacy platform, so we're not like Yelp and Angie's List and Amazon reviews, all of which start with a what, like a restaurant or a product or a service, but you don't know the who. Well, who are these people? Can I trust them? Are they like me? Are they bots? So we flip it. We're actually 180 degrees opposite of that. We start with who. Okay, well, it's Lou, or it's John, or it's Ashley, or it's whoever. I trust what they recommend. And I know that every single post on the yaystack from them is advocacy. Hey, I like this. This is why. Here's what I like. Here's why I like it. And it's searchable. It's organized. It's categorized. It's findable. It's accessible.
So let's explain what this is, because this is pretty cool. And the listeners need to know. We'll definitely put links to this. I got to participate and actually give my yaystack. So explain what it looks like to the user. So when they go to yaystack, what that experience is.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Lou. So yaystack is a social app, just like, all these others, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, whatnot. And it's short little video clips, 2 minutes long each. They're all portrait. So, just imagine TikTok, you got this video feed and you're seeing people, share these little video clips, but every single video is an answer to a specific question. So at the bottom, you can see the question that they're answering. Now it might be, what's a favorite book? What's a favorite movie? What's your favorite music artist? What's whatever, those kind of simple things. And then also things like, hey, if you had a blank billboard, what would your one message be? If you could give advice to your past self, what would you say? So again, it's all referrals and recommendations. It actually falls under the umbrella of recommendations. I'm advocating this. So it can be a referral, which is reference to helpful information or to a service. It could be advice. Hey, in my experience, I would recommend this, And so all the questions are designed to basically mine the diamonds inside of you and your friends on your behalf, all of their referrals and recommendations, whether they're things or things that aren't things, like morning routine or habits or mantras or quotes, anything that optimizes your life. That's really what Yaystack is all about. We are a community of life optimizers. And not only do we want to optimize our own life, not by paid ads that are splattered around us, that our reticular activating systems are, doing a great job of getting out usually, but rather, we want to optimize our life based on our friends' genuine, authentic recommendations. That's what it's all about.
No, so I like it, and I've seen this. You've got the face. It's somebody literally speaking like a TikTok video. Good way to describe it, but we're going to call it a yaystack video. And there's all this content of them. The question is below, and it gives their feedback on what their recommendation is, or what they love, or what they like the most. Let's pull it back one level from your side of it. Okay, there's a lot of content in there, and I can't remember how many recommendations I gave within my yaystack, but there was a lot of questions and answers that were in there. So are people going to eventually go to yaystack and they're going to be like, hey, I'm looking for a great restaurant in a certain place, or I'm looking for something that people love to eat or go to? How are you going to parse through all this video content and be able to pull it up so that maybe people can really search it in a way that they can find the references, referrals, recommendations that work best for them specifically?
Yeah, that's a great question, Lou. I appreciate it, because at scale, to your point, we're talking about a lot of content from a lot of people. So how do we make it to where, like today, you can see very quickly, like you can open up one's Yaystack profile. You can go to Lou's Yaystack, and in a second and a half, literally, you can find the category and the question, because the question is actually written at the top of the thumbnail on the little, on the thumbnails in the category. So you can reverse engineer what you want to know most from Lou. Okay, well, I like this category, and then, I like that question. What did Lou say here? And you can go to that. Truly, like in less than a second and a half. In a second, you can find, okay, there's that. And as opposed to, for example, long form video format like YouTube. YouTube's done quite well, I would say. However, if you're wanting to, discover what Lou recommends, instead of being like kicking up your feet, having a bowl of popcorn and saying, I'm just going to watch Lou rave about all his stuff for 60 minutes. You're probably not in that headspace, right? You want to go immediately to what you want to know most from Lou. And it's going to be a recommendation. It's going to be a yay. It's going to be a yay from Lou. And it's going to help you, optimize your life in some way, shape, or form. And while it's hitting my mind, I mean, we're treasure hunters, Lou. We're treasure hunters at Yaystack. We seek for the treasure in life, and we look for it, we find it, and we help our friends do that for us. Hey, what do you like and why? What do you love and why? From the smallest of things to the biggest of things, what sparks joy in your life? Because if you think, Lou, about every single referral that you've ever given, no strings attached, you're like, hey, have you heard of this? Hey, do you know about this? Hey, you should. Or, hey, in my experience. And it's always a spark of joy or something that solved a problem for you. And ultimately, at the deepest level, it made you happier. So you're sharing that happiness. So that's the value proposition between.
That's a great point, actually. And as you were going back and you were talking about community trust and that specific niche that somebody was going to connect with, what's actually very true is when somebody mentions something in conversation, I know this, like if somebody's saying, oh, I'm looking for a good fish restaurant or a good Italian place, instantly you're basically in this mode of, oh, I've got a great place for you because I had a good thing. You got to go check out this particular restaurant or this particular fish place, whatever it might be. And that is true that you provide that. There's almost like a yearning to say, I want to help somebody do that. And your platform is geared on all those things. So there's another good part of it. You're probably right. If you do write some of the feeds, I could see this being, oh, that's really funny. I've heard about this restaurant before. I think I saw this on a yaystack or somebody recommended it. Now you're in that space where you're trying to create the trust and community. Can you share with the listeners, there's an interactive piece of this because I've had people jump in and actually engage. Talk about how the community and the app actually works in Yaystack, because that's another aspect that I haven't seen across a lot of different platforms.
I appreciate you asking, Lou. Yeah, so that's what you're talking about here is the question and answer component of this. So what we found as we got going was that users really needed guidance and great specificity. And that's really what people find. And this is the feedback that we've been given. Hey, I love the specificity. It just goes right to whatever it is very, very specifically that, I want to know. And so users can either share an answer. Everything is Q&A based. So it's kind of like Quora, but instead of so broad to ask anything, rather it is all recommendations. It is all very short video answers. But users can either share answers to questions like, oh, well, here's my favorite, and here's my answer to that question. Here's my answer to that question. Again, every question designed to curate a recommendation, a referral, advice, whatever. So advocacy, ultimately. But you can also ask a question. Now, when you ask a question, that goes out to your friends and the community. So as we go and as we grow, we're building this powerful yay list that we affectionately call it, where it's thought leaders, it's amazing, people that are just powerhouses in their own rights, in their own ways, with their own, deep levels or realms of expertise. And then they're uniquely qualified to give you a fantastic yay. And so, so as we go and as we grow, we're building that and fostering that community. But going back to what you said earlier, hey, how do you, as you scale, how do you make it to where everything is still very accessible when there's a whole lot more? That's something that we're excited to meet that challenge when we get there. Because at scale for Yaystack, when we're actually delivering very well on the best finds from your best friends, right now that's a bit tongue in cheek because we're showcasing a guest every day, and because if you think about it, it's chicken and egg. It's like, well, the best finds for my best friends. Well, how many of my friends are here yet? And so in the early days, it's like, well, somebody's got to go first. Then once we reach critical mass such that the majority of people that come on already have several friends on it who have already shared several finds, now we're delivering on the best finds from our best friends and the value proposition shifts. So our vision, Lou, is to be the number one authentic referral platform, in the world by 2025. So that's going to be here before we know it. People might be listening to this too, and they're like, wait, 2025, that was 3 years ago,
3-4 years, yeah.
or whatever. And so for us, it's like, okay, well, we want to, our vision is to be the number one authority in authentic referrals, such that even when we're all using the new Apple Glass and we're looking at augmented reality and we're going down the road, and then we see, oh, Lou yayed that bakery and he always gets this there, you know, and let me watch Lou's video that he made over here and let me see if like that entices me enough to actually go there. You know, it's that kind of stuff that we're anticipating. However, for now, you know, we're basically building the referral network yay by yay, day by day.
I like it.
Yay by yay, day by day. Just keep going and then scale and solve, you know, every problem that comes our way.
I'm going to go down an interesting way because this is interesting. And by the way, I love, Trey, what you're about in that keeping this on all the positive, because I'm always the glass half full and always looking at the upside.
Why not?
Yeah, no.
What you focus on grows. If you're focused on lack, you're going to get more of it. If you're focused on abundance, you're going to get more of it. If you're focused on nays, you're going to get more of them. You're focused on yays, you're going to get more of them. And our mission can be distilled in a very simple way to, hey, we're here to bring more yays to your days. We're here to bring more yays to your days. Come on.
I love it. I'm laughing. I'm loving it. He's what listeners need to know is he's got the yay hat on. You'll see it in the video promos or if you're watching this on YouTube, he's got the yay hat on with the big exclamation point. I do want to ask this question because I have to. And this question is, as the community grows, you're going to get some people that might want to inject, or in those additional comments, some nays in the yay things.
We're ready.
How do you keep it ready? Yeah.
So when I'm asked that question, I immediately go back to, I'm sure that Reid Hoffman in the early days of LinkedIn was asked like, hey, Reid, what about people who post, you know, like puppy dog videos and, you know, things that aren't professional, but yet this is the professional network, which, by the way, I mean, if you listen to Guy Raz, How I Built This, and, you know, Reid Hoffman talk about the early days of LinkedIn, people laughed at him and people were like, professional network. It's like, I don't need that. You know, It was the Henry Ford, you know, we want faster horses. We don't want an engine. You know, what is that thing? Not to compare what we're doing to that, but
who knows? I never throw that out the window, Trey. You never know this. Let me make it clear that I do believe you're onto something, because this is so important. We love the positive recommendation. We know that there's a referral to go someplace.
We know there's
and
space
by the
here.
way, right. We know there's a space here. Well, what it at least does is it provides a good read on an option that someone can weigh the way they need to, which is what a reference is. Because we all know this. Someone refers something to you. And here's what I've learned. When a good reference is this, like, everyone is going to experience something for their own in their own authentic way. I think when you get that support that someone else really liked it, what I will say is that when you also really like it, it does something else. It brings a connection closer to that other person that you had that gave you that reference, because now you have a gateway. And just to be able to have the referral network, because there's not everything is universally accepted and referred to. It's the ones that you connect with more that's going to really make those recommendations even more valuable, which I think is great.
Absolutely.
I like what you're doing.
I so appreciate it, Lou. I really do. I'm pumped. I mean, you know, it's the early days. So I'll tell you right now, we have some phenomenal yes stories. However, we have far more no stories on the way to those yes stories. And it's been just, I mean, I could write a book on just the beginning, you know, the beginning days. But what I foresee is truly in the year 2025, when people buy stuff, and it's not everything, it's not every like pack of gum and things like this, but you know, when people buy stuff, Lou, in the year 2025, and it's something that they would advocate. They don't have to be like, I mean, doing backflips over every purchase or whatever, but if it's something that they would recommend, like, I want to know that there are the best finds from our best friends. There's so many diamonds inside of people that are yet to be mined. And then, when people share on other platforms, because you say, well, Trey, you know, people are sharing a lot on, Instagram and whatnot, the things that they would recommend. It's like, okay, yeah, again, it's ephemeral. It's disappearing after 24 hours in many cases. And if they, did a highlight reel, great, that's happenstantial, that's wonderful. And it's a one-off to where it's like, okay, well, if Lou shared all his favorite books in a highlight reel, great. I've got Lou's that I happened to find because he happened to create, a highlight reel on Instagram. However, I don't have everybody else's. Whereas, and this was a point that I meant to make earlier, but not only do you see Lou's answer to the question, hey, what's one of your all-time favorite books? You see all of your friends and the Yay list guests, that are there.
Right.
So it's like, it took Pinterest 4 years to go from who's Pinterest, what's that, to you don't have to explain it. It's a household name. Well, right. In that time, they went from, it was just a white screen and you had to go to Safari or Firefox and copy paste a URL. And then it happened to make this like little pin. It was cumbersome. My wife just deleted the app like early on, it sucked. Fast forward a year and a half, 2 years, and she re-downloads it and she's like, oh my goodness, look at all these pins and look at all these people and look at all this content. And this is so great. And now Pinterest, has just gone from a $12.5 billion organization to a 42, as of today, $1 billion organization with interest, which is great. But in my experience, Lou, there's just something magical about the referral, about the authentic, no strings attached. Hey, this is what I like and why I like it. And we're building a community, again, of generous people who are life optimizers. They want to squeeze all the juice out of life for themselves. They want to make sure that their life is optimized, is the word I would use. But they also are totally willing to give and to share, hey, these are the things that are big and small that ultimately like make my life better. And I hope that it helps you. And it's not people that are puffing up their ego or they're trying to flex, let me rave about my Tesla, which has happened actually on yaystack, but the guy was worth whatever, $300 million. So it's all right. Anyway.
So I want to jump here. Two other questions around yaystack, and then I want to get a little bit more into you and what Trey Roth is all about. The first one is, you have been doing, or your team has been capturing the yays, which is a really cool, and that's enabling you to curate the content really specifically. What's your vision going forward as it grows, being able to capture the yays in the way that it can grow organically? Because obviously there's only so many interviews Trey's going to do. There's obviously teams of people that are going to capture the yays. How are you going to work on that as you move forward?
I appreciate you asking, Lou. We are focused on quality over quantity initially right now. It really, like, we could go out and buy a ton of downloads in a way, but it would be air. It just wouldn't be,
right,
authentic demand. And so for us, we're all about creating real value with real people and building an awesome, high caliber community around this that says, yes, that's me. I'm a yay stacker. I'm a life optimizer. I want to, elevate my life in every single little way possible, in a way that's like above board, above reproach. And I'm also willing to share and to give, no strings attached. Like if you have to be paid to yay, or if you have to be like, I don't do anything unless I'm getting paid for it,
then it's not authentic.
Great. Right. I actually do get that. I get that, but we're probably not the community for you. And then it's funny because we've had some people like talk about, oh my goodness, we love this positive place, this positive community that stands for authenticity, that stands for integrity, that stands for, all things positive. It's yays over nays. And this one person, Dominique, so sweet, just saying like, hey, if you're a negative Nancy, this place is not for you. She's got this like accent. But anyway, so I just appreciate the community that's coming around this. And then we just anticipate growing that. And then as far as like the curation of the content, the way you're asking, we do see building communities based on interests. to where we are, serving those and getting really specific in certain ways, and then just sharing like life hacks, but not so broad as to say, well, not just life hacks in general, but rather based on the specifics, the specific hacks that you're going for. So just building micro communities
within the yaystack world. I like it.
Yes,
I like where
absolutely.
So I love asking entrepreneurs this question, and you specifically, because I am very curious to know where this goes. Look, you've been since 6 years old, putting those tunes together, producing music, being entrepreneurial, marketing effectively, and putting together this wonderful platform. You, on most days, sir, are thriving. But we all have days when we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. Trey Roth, when you are having trouble thriving, what practice do you seek, or what individual do you seek out to get yourself back on the thriving track?
Oh man, that's a great question. And especially this little part about what individual do I seek out. That's great. I do have a friend, Sean Samuel Hall, life coach for 11 years now. He's just absolutely incredible. So Sean is the first person I would go to. The first practice is, there is actually one practice that I attribute to my ever-growing sense of joy and fulfillment in my life. And it takes, less than half a minute. And actually, it's what I do when I wake up. So I'll wake up, Lou, every morning. I've done this for several years now. Every single morning, including this morning, I'll wake up, I'll open my eyes, and then I'll just close them back, and I'll put my hand on my chest, take a deep breath, and I'll actually feel the air through my nostrils. And usually it's pretty clear and pretty easy. And I'll focus on it though. I'll focus on the air coming in here. I can feel it going, and I know this might sound strange or whatever, but it's very effective. So track with me if you're listening. You feel the air, go through your nostrils, fill your lungs. And it's not that you're grateful for breath in general. It's what I call hyper-focused gratitude. And you're focused on it's hyper-focused gratitude. You're focused on the air filling your lungs. And then you just acknowledge the fact that these breaths are numbered. This breath is giving me life right now. One day I won't have this experience. One day I won't have air to breathe. One day I will not wake up with this other chance. And actually, through doing this year after year, every single day, every single morning, I just do it. I don't try to do it. I just do it. I've actually grown this strange but powerful understanding of how I'll feel on my deathbed. Now, I don't want to sound morbid. This is actually very life and joy injecting. But every morning that I wake up, Lou, I realize, oh, wow, this breath, this opportunity, these problems in front of me, this youth, which I'm not, whatever, as young as I've been for whatever, all the years I've been alive. But my dream come true when I'm on my deathbed, that day that it comes, and it's my last day, and it's my last morning to wake up, to have breath in my lungs. My dream come true would be to wake up this Trey, to wake up this day with this breath, with these problems, with these opportunities. And so I'm just very aware of the preciousness of life. But I also know that, like, okay, well, there's a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being alive, or so the number goes today in recent, research or whatever. But it's the same Lou. It's the same Lou. If I said, hey, Lou, at the end of this call, sorry, pal, there's a 1 in 100 chance that you and I are going to be alive, after this, and to experience anything. And you'd say, well, Trey, there's 99 chances that we're not going to make it. There's only 1 that we will. That doesn't sound good. We're about to wrap or whatever. And then I'd say, well, Lou, actually, it's worse than that. It's 1 in 1,000 chance that we're actually going to be alive at the end of this call. And he'd say, well, Trey, there's 999 chances that we're not going to make it, and 1 that we will. We're done. And I'd say, well, Lou, it's actually worse. And then 1 in 10,000, 1 in 100,000, 1 in a million. No. Like, the chances to be alive and to have this experience, and if you can hear my voice right now, the odds that you beat to hear my voice right now and to hear me articulate this concept is 1 in 400 trillion. It's actually less than 1 in 400 trillion. A trillion is a million millions. It's not just, we're not here like 1 in a million. You know, it's not like we outswam 2 or 3 other sperm to be here. You, Lou, outswam, and Trey, we outswam 250,000 sperm to be here. You were booking it. You know, you should have seen you. You should have seen me. We outswam 250,000 sperm, but so did our parents, so did their parents,
right,
etc. So it's this, so for me, this is kind of course, a long answer to your question. When I'm feeling down, how do I pick myself back up? How do I thrive? Oh my goodness, Lou, how can I not be thriving?
There you go.
How can I not be thriving with the
gift that you've been given,
with the understanding of the truth? Not, oh man, Trey's woo woo. No, this is the math. This is acknowledgement of the truth, of the magic and the miracle of the seemingly mundane moment. It is not. It's not mundane. It's such a gift, so far beyond our understanding. But we're, of course, subject to hedonistic adaptation and the law of familiarity. And so we're just kind of going about our days like, oh, I've got this problem and I've got that thorn in my side or whatever. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. When we scoot back, every single loss is a win because we were there to have them. Man, how can we not be thriving when it's the same? And I'll end on this. Yeah. But the analogy is, if you took a white inner tube, like a white life tube, and you tossed it out of a plane in the middle.
Oh, a lifesaver.
A lifesaver.
Yeah,
you tossed it out of a plane over any ocean randomly, anywhere in the world. And just imagine being in a plane and seeing the vast ocean. You can't see any land. It's just this huge ocean anywhere in any ocean. And then imagine a sea turtle comes up to the surface of the water through your inner tube on randomly anywhere in the world. And it comes up through your inner tube on the first try. Those are the odds that you beat to
get here.
Any experience, to actually be hearing me say this. And then if you multiply that by anything could be happening right now, Lou, but whoever chose to listen to this, they're listening to it now and they're having this experience. They're listening to this, and for all of the other realities that could be, they aren't. This reality is, and these problems are, and these people and these relationships and the people that we're related to, and the hopes and dreams and all the things, the human drama. It is just so beyond wonderful. It's a wonderful life. That's what I would share. That would be my one message. Like, hey, your life truly is wonderful, based on the truth, based on the math. Oh my goodness, you're here. Do you know what kind of the enormity of the odds you beat to have any experience? Treat that so very well. And if Tony Robbins isn't full of crap when he says that the quality of your life is nothing more than the quality of your emotions, well, if that's true, then you have the ability, Lou, to pause at any given moment and say, wait a second. Yeah, this sucks. Okay, I'm a human too. I do not like pain. However, oh my goodness, when I pause and I reflect, 1 in 400 trillion, like I made it. I beat incredible, unfathomable odds to have this problem and to have this experience. I'm so very grateful. That's how you thrive.
I like it. Let's do this.
Yeah.
The admin part of the show. I want you to share with the listeners all the places they can learn about Yaystack. And by the way, anyone playing the drinking game here, listening to Thrive Loud, that every time we said yay, make it clear when he said year after year, that acronym also counts. So you might have to throw one back. I would say at this point, share with listeners all the places people can find you, Yaystack, social sites, everything. And Also, in this breath, share your business partner, because we did not bring up your co-partner in this, who was on the album art or the podcast art of this image we have here. Let's do that so that our listeners can connect all the dots, if you would. You're up, Trey.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Lou. Yeah, that partner you're referencing is Dwight Howard, NBA superstar. He's amazing. He's my partner in this. He's phenomenal. You can find Yaystack on the App Store. It actually is about to be on Android. That's about to launch here, but come to the Apple App Store and just search Yay. It was a wonderful day to actually type in Yay instead of Yaystack, and it actually show up. That was a really good day. That would,
very cool.
So
I'm
type in
right now. I want to see that. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Type in Yay and then find Yaystack. It's Haystack with a Y. And then download Yaystack and stack some Yays and invite some friends. You can also follow us on Instagram at Yaystack, Yaystack. And then I'm at Trey Roth on Instagram as well. And then, of course, like if I can be of service, if I can be of value, I don't mind, sharing my email address, which is trey@yaystack.co. That's TREY at yaystack.co. We're working on the .com. He kind of wants some, money for it. So we're saying, hey, hang tight. We got you. Hang tight. Anyway, so.
We had a situation where someone wanted to get LouDiamond.com, and we have LouDiamond.net, and the guy who had .com was just trying to get it from Lou Diamond Phillips. So I said, Lou, you can go get it. We're fine with this one. We went to Thrive Loud and we have everything there.
There you go.
Permission, Trey Roth, to go down Fun Street with me over here.
Let's go.
All right. Can you share with the listeners one or more than one of your all-time favorite movies? Because you had a bunch based on genre, if you would.
Absolutely. So I really relate to the character of Frodo Baggins, because I feel like I've got this ring and I've got this fellowship and I've got to get it, to the mountain and get it in. It's this seemingly impossible thing, but it wouldn't be the first seemingly impossible dream to actually come true. And the snippet of that is that, the summer between 3rd and 4th grade, I met a girl, and it was amazing. Clouds parted, sun shone through. I fell in love with her, had this huge crush on her. 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, finally 8th grade. I did something about my weight and my hair and my gnarly teeth and my layers of insecurity. And I ran every night from midnight to 2 a.m., lost the weight, grew a foot taller, kind of glowed up a bit. And then I was 14 years old. She was 15. It was 9th grade. I asked her out. Finally, she said yes. We dated 7.5 years to the day of our wedding. And now we're about to celebrate 14 years of marriage. And we've got 4 little kids bopping around here somewhere. So it's not this first seemingly impossible dream to have come to reality. So Lord of the Rings is one.
Like it.
But I have others in other genres, like Dumb and Dumber, of course. I love
Dumb and Dumber, which
Hilarious.
is great. What's your favorite scene in Dumb and Dumber?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many, but one that I go to that it just cracks me up is when they're on the moped and they travel all the way to Aspen and they're freezing, everything's frozen, and you just feel it. They do such a good job of making you cold watching them go through Aspen on this little thing. And so they're around the fire pit, and Harry Dunn, Jeff Daniels' character, says to Jim Carrey, Lloyd Christmas, oh my goodness, my hands are freezing, my thumbs are numb or whatever. And then Jim Carrey says, here, take my extra pair of gloves. My hands are getting sweaty.
That's so great.
And he says, you had an extra pair of gloves this entire time? And he's like, yeah, we're in the Rockies or whatever. And then Jeff Daniels says, I'm going to kill you, Lloyd. I'm going to kill you. Anyway, oh gosh, it gets me every time.
It's so good.
I love it.
All right, so we're going to do the speed round of Fun Street here. The way this works is I'm going to ask you something. I want the first thing that comes to your mind. These are most things that lift you up, make you feel good, motivate you, make you thrive.
Let's go.
Ready? Okay. A song you love to hear or that pumps you up.
Any Beatles song, but I'd say Let It Be because it was the first one that I learned how to play on piano.
Nice. Favorite food that's not a dessert?
Oh, gosh. Come to Atlanta. We're going to go about 30 minutes north of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. We're going to go to Gusto Wood Fire Grill, and you don't have to order. I got you. we're going to get the Chipotle Mango Avocado Bowl at Gusto Wood Fire Grill, and it will change you from the inside out. You will be craving the Chipotle Mango Avocado Bowl in Atlanta. So let me know when you're down here. We're going to Gusto.
Yaystack moment there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now a favorite dessert.
I like simple, and I'm a texture person. So you can take Breyer's natural ice cream, just vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
And then the trick is to actually put some milk in it. And then what it does, Lou, to put a little bit of milk in it and just kind of like move around a little bit. And you can actually throw it back in the freezer or the fridge or whatever to help this. But it basically makes the texture of the ice cream like frozen and icy on the outside, but then it's kind of like creamy a bit on the inside. And it's so simple. It's just vanilla ice cream. And sometimes maybe I'll add something to it, but oh my goodness. And I haven't had it in a long time. It sounds pretty good right now, but
I'm glad I'm glad this is the speed round.
Yeah.
A favorite, an activity you wish you did more of.
An activity I wish I did more of, just any and all exercise. I know that, that's something for me. It's like, all right, especially with 2021, sedentary and just a ton. I mean, I'm on Zoom like all day, like my calendar is lit up with Zoom calls. So I need to, just do any and all
activity.
Yeah.
An activity you wish you did less of.
Good question. An activity that I wish I did less of. I would say Zoom calls, but I love doing what I do
right now.
Yeah, but there's a lot of that. So I would say maybe a little less of that and automating that a bit.
If you could snap your fingers and go anywhere in the world, Trey, where are you?
Man, these are great questions. I would say I love Laguna Beach. I love, I've got some friends there. That's one place. And then of course I've got 4 little ones. We just got back from Disney World, and Magic Kingdom is pretty magical. So I'd say, hey, we go right back there.
I think you take Laguna over Magic Kingdom. That's a tough one. I don't know.
It's tough. Well, there's also like Santorini and all the exotic, wonderful places,
types of places
like that. Yeah.
I like it. Trey Roth, Yaystack, big YAY over here from the whole Thrive Loud team. Continued success to you, helping people find the references in a positive light in the keep the glass half full. Love what this is all about. And maybe most notably, I think we learned how appreciative you are and grateful to be on this planet and why this platform is so in your lane, because all the positive components of appreciating the fact that we're here. So thank you for sharing that with you, and keep going with this, man, stuff. I can't wait to see more. And let it be known, probably like, thanks for putting me on an Instagram page with like the most beautiful people in the entire planet. I felt kind of honored.
Hey, man. Hey, you elevate the game, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at that suit, man. You got to go back to that picture. And that's great.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you, Lou. It was fun.
You got it. And to all listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe and listen to all of our incredible episodes. Follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media, and head on over to thriveloud.com to connect directly to Lou and learn how you and your business can thrive loud too. Thanks for listening.